Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today we have a Warhammer animation review, and today we're going to be talking about Angels of Death Episode 2, The Silent City. Now, before we get started, I've managed to track down a little bit of credits because, of course, Warhammer Animation doesn't have the full credits available, but with the power of the internet, I've managed to track down some credits here. So we've got the directors, writers, producers, composers, second unit and assistant directors, sound department, animation department, and some music department members. I couldn't, however, find any of the actors, or the voice actors rather, playing the parts, so unfortunately cannot name them, but I managed to find all these credits and give these people the credits that they deserve. With that out the way though, let's get cracking on into it and let's talk about this week's episode of Angels of Death. And of course, so I'm adding this in just a little bit late. Of course, after I said in the last slide that I couldn't find the actual cast, I went on and I managed to find some cast. So we're just sliding this in right here. Credits to everyone in the cast. I recognize a few of these names and it's starting to all make a little bit of sense. I knew Richard Reed was in this. He is the Tech Marines voice. I know that one and I've just got to place the rest of them. But what's really cool is a lot of these voice actors they're getting are people who already do their audiobook readings. So I'm really quite happy that these people who have done a lot of work for Games Workshop already are getting the chance to take part in this as well, because some of those audiobook readings and the audio drama stuff they've done throughout the past few years on Games Workshop has really been top notch. So fantastic work to everyone involved as the cast of this show, as well as all the animators and everyone doing the background behind the scenes stuff. But well done on bringing the characters to life. I'd love to know, if you watch this, if you're one of the many voice actors, which one you voice, so I can start putting it all together and give proper credits for everyone when I do these reviews. And so this episode, or rather let's talk about last episode a little bit. We left off last episode and we ended up with the final scene of the Space Marines getting inside their drop pods and making the attempt at planetfall via drop pod insertion. So we got that look and we know that only the Tech Marine stayed behind, Hadrail, I believe his name is, and so we got the rest of our Marines making planetfall as they got the locator beacon onto their captain, which was down on the surface. And so we get a really cool look here at what planetfall is like in a drop pod. We get that really cool like sort of chat and like how it sort of looks to Marines inside there. And also there is a little bit of a complication with the drop pod as one of them hits a giant spire and it sort of stems off course, and we sort of see how the Space Marines talk to each other about, oh, it'll be fine, it'll just be rough, and how they sort of, everything is practical to them. They're this fine-oiled, well-oiled machine of war. And it's a really cool look at them at the start. Now, eventually, they make planetfall and the two different parties begin, and eventually one of the parties makes contact with some civilians on the surface. And they begin to try and talk to them, and something's not quite right. You can just sort of feel it watching the episode, and eventually it is Sergeant Kazarian, our Death Watch Space Marine, the one who has just recently come back from the Blood Angels from the Death Watch. He picks up on something, and you see like him just looking, and you get that sense of like how acute a Space Marine's senses are, especially one who served in the Death Watch in this elite upon elite warrior brotherhood that is the Death Watch. And you get a really cool look at this, and then we get all hell breaking loose. We get a fight scene, and boy oh boy is this amazing to look at. Just seeing these Space Marines, once again, like the colouring of this episode, and this series in general, I really love the grey scale, like the black, white and grey and gunmetal and all that sort of colour, with the splashes of red thrown onto them by the Blood Angels. It really makes the Angels of Death, the Blood Angels, just seem that much more, I guess, super in this universe where everything is dark. It really does look awesome. And whoever decided on this sort of look definitely deserves some praise because it looks amazing. But back onto our little story, they make contact and we start to see like how Space Marines fight And we see, you know, the Space Marines take some hits, and we see different sort of weapons employed. We see combat knives, we see the Crozius Arcanum in action, we see chainswords, and we hear that fantastic revving as it slices through people. We see grenades going off. We've got a heavy bolter by one of the Marines in the squad as well. And different versions of bolt guns amongst them. You can see one of them looks to be holding a sniper bolt rifle. It's just a really, really cool look at how this all sort of goes together and how a squad of Space Marines fights. It's really, really cool. Of course, we go back to and we cut back to our ship, and not everything's going well there. Either they're trying to cut off and get rid of all these people, but it turns out that things inside the ships and the flotilla floating above the planet, not everything is right. And is at this point that we find something is going terribly wrong with this brief stopover on the planet, and that something is coming for our companions, our Space Marine, our ship captain. And we end the scene with the ship not being able to take off, and the like final words of the scene of the episode going, "We're being boarded." And it just leaves you wanting more. They've done it so well in the little like cliffhangers in this. The first one, the Space Marine dropping the drop pod. The next one, the ship being boarded by some insurgents. It really is cool. I'm really interested to see where we go in the next episode of this, but they're really doing well with those cliffhangers. It makes you want to watch the next one, and I can't believe I have to wait at least a week, maybe more, who knows. They only released this single episode on Warhammer Plus, on the Warhammer TV animation app this week, so who knows how long we have to wait till more animation, but be interesting to see where we go from here. And so, what were your thoughts on the second episode of Angels of Death? Are you enjoying the series so far, and what are you looking forward to seeing next? And what do you think is going to happen next? What is the next episode going to be? I'll be really excited to see what happens next. I think we're going to see some action on side that ship. I'm also going to see some more ground contact, so it'll be really interesting. It's definitely starting to heat up in the series, and I'm really looking forward to what we see next. Well, thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, if you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fine community here at Cinderful Gaming, you can do so by coming and joining our Discord, of which there is a link in the description of the video to go and join. Also, if you'd like to help support the channel in another way, you can do so either by Patreon, YouTube members, or by going and purchasing some merch on our Teespring store. You can find the links to all three in the description of the video, once again, to Patreon, YouTube members, and to our merch store on Teespring. But also, we'd like to give a special shout out to everyone who helps support the channel via Patreon and YouTube members. So, thank you to our patrons: Christian Weir, James, Soren, Chaos Spawn, AJC, Kenny Lowell, Outer and Shop First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, Tim Newman, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, MJ, and Dynat226. And a special thank you as well to our YouTube members: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Steve T, The Real Zeop, Chris Wallace, Turai12, Vinny, Lock Lorick, Matt Mollin, Becca Kinski Groupie, The Johnny84, and El Mapache. Thank you as well, a special thanks especially to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel. An absolute legend of a person. And then thank you as well to the legend that is Xmorphic. He does so much amazing work in the background of our Discord server, making sure everything works and looks nice and pretty there for us all to enjoy. So that's enough said from me though. Thank you all for watching. Once again, stay safe everyone, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.